It's Rambling Hour with Lisa, live from my living room. It is season 9, episode 4. I hope everyone is doing well. I think I'm gonna maybe combine things onto one table and bring you in closer because this seems too wide for me. So let me just, let's see, how can I do this? So we will put Grumpy over there, this here, that back there, this over here. I'll explain all this in a few minutes. I hope everybody's good, that you've had a good weekend, that you've had a good 2 weeks because I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, let me try this again with getting me and my stuff. And this is what I've been doing for the last couple minutes. This is why I'm late, is because I've been trying to sort out what height to have this at to get my stuff in. No excuses. I could have started earlier, but I didn't. So let's see. No, we'll still bring you down. Wrong one. Let's see, how's that? Well, that's good. You get the table in, but you don't get me in. Okay, so if I sit back here, and then if you get that, and I'm short, and if I bring that forward, then, so if I sit here, I don't know what I'm doing. You think this is my first time doing this. Hello, Mom. What am I doing with my life? Think about this, Lisa. So you need to bring it up, but you want to get that in. So what if I bring it, so if I bring it too low, and then I face it upwards. Yeah, this might work. Give me a second. Almost. I guess I just need to push it back a little. Well, I can just sit like this. No, bring it up just a little. Imagine like when people have people to pay to do all this stuff, like professionals. There. I think I figured it out a little bit. So, how is everyone? How have your 2 weeks been? The bottom of the mirror looks a bit weird there, but we're just gonna have to deal. There's a Christmas blanket over there. Don't like that. Gonna bring you in a bit. No, Lena is whining. Okay, so let me explain the table that I'm trying to... Oh, I see what's happening here. I need to bring this table over more if I don't want the Christmas blanket in the shot. I mean, there is a Christmas blanket here too, but I'm trying to decorate for Christmas. But I don't want to do Christmas themes yet because it's only November, so it's still autumn, and I'll do the Christmas themes in December. Melody says I'm hiding in my room. Yeah, but I want to get all the Christmas decorating done so that I can enjoy, like I want to get it all done before December 1st so I can enjoy December 1st to 25th, like the 24 days of Christmas, and not have to worry about the decorations. I just want to enjoy myself as well. So that is why I am decorating now for Christmas. I haven't put up the tree yet, or lights, but I've been doing just little things here and there and everything. Well, I've taken everything out and I'm organizing it all, so I'm placing it, but there's still lots to do, but I have got lots done already. I have a lot of Christmas stuff. So, Melody says she tested positive for COVID. Melody, is this your first time having COVID? How are you feeling? And that is why you're hiding in your room. She says I'm doing okay. Okay, so the Disney theme. Now, of course, you know, copyright and everything. If I was famous, I wouldn't be able to use all this stuff. But why I chose, first of all, this is so not like me to keep a jumper like this, a sweater, sweatshirt, whatever you want to call it. But I've had it in my wardrobe, and it's a perfect time to wear it. And Steve has these from, let me see what year, I think 2005, that they went to Disneyland for Thomas's 4th birthday. And so they're originals from Disneyland, I'm pretty sure, and or Disney World, whichever one's in Florida. And then this is Allison's mug that she got from Owen for Christmas last year, the year before, or her birthday or something. The hole is really small on Minnie's head. I made a hot chocolate, but I really don't think this is a good cup to drink it out of. I don't think this cup is good for much. It's just weird with the hole in the head. I have Grumpy there. That's just because Steve has some Grumpy things that his kids have bought him over the years. And, you know, Grumpy from Snow White, bit of Disney. We have a little bit of Disney in this house. Steve has a lot of Tiggers, which is, you know, Winnie the Pooh Tiggers, and technically they're Disney because Disney bought them, but the reason, oh yeah, because Tigger, yeah, it's just this thing that his kids have bought him for since they were little. So that is, oh, the reason that I was doing the Disney theme is because it was supposed to be last Sunday, the 13th, that I did the Disney theme for two reasons. One, Monday the 14th was my cousin Erin's birthday, and for her birthday, so I'm 44, so she turned 46, and for her birthday she went to whichever one is in Florida, Disney in Florida, and so I was doing an ode to her and to her birthday trip to Florida, and yeah, it was supposed to be last weekend, and that is why I have the Disney theme. Now, what happened last weekend is I had to cancel my live because not even an hour before I was ready to start my live. Okay, I'm going to tell this from the beginning, and because I still haven't written it down, but this is exactly what happened. So, we were all in the kitchen getting our dinner a little bit late, you know, for dinners on Sunday, but whatever. Everybody was in the kitchen getting their dinner and then going their separate ways because we weren't sitting at the table together for it, but that's okay. So we were all laughing, having a good time. Both dogs were in the kitchen, and everybody kind of went their separate ways, and I just kept cleaning up in the kitchen, you know, because I knew I had my live in an hour, so I was tidying some things up. Sorry, Lena's drinking water right now. Yes, so I was cleaning up, and then Aurora comes downstairs. Oh yeah, let me also say that we have a Ring doorbell on our door, but at this moment, the Ring doorbell was being charged, so it wasn't working. Aurora comes downstairs and says, "Mom, why is the front door wide open?" And then I'm like, oh, Nova, because Nova knows how to open doors inside and out. She has opened the front door twice from the outside and come in. When she's got out of the garden, she's got out the gate, and she's ran around the front of the house and then ran and like pushed against the door as she's doing the handle, and then jumped again and pushed and does the handle until it opens. Then she would run in the house, up the stairs into Tom's room, because it is Tom's dog and that's her room. So she ran out of the garden like twice and ran away to the front door. So she's never run away before. But and like I said, she's opened the door twice from the outside to get in, because you push it in, but she hasn't opened it from the inside to get out, although she can do the oak doors. She stands up on her hind legs, she pushes the handle down, and then she walks backwards and opens the door, so she can open them in and out, all the inside doors. So the door is open to go outside, and Aurora says, "Why is the front door open?" And I'm like, oh, Nova, the escape artist. So then Aurora says, "Yeah, because I just got a text from my friend." Oh, my brain just forgot what his name was. And he's such a great guy, so I do feel bad that I'm forgetting his name at the moment. Jamie. His name is Jamie. I just got a text from my friend Jamie, and he says that a small black dog got hit by a car on King Street. And I was like, what? So in my head, I'm thinking, you know, maybe bruises, maybe a broken leg. You know, I'm like, okay, well, you go check on her, and I'll phone Dad, because, you know, if she did hurt herself and had a broken leg or something, she'd need to go to the vet. So and Steve was only upstairs, but I was going to call him and let him know what was going on. So I phoned Steve and tell him that Nova might have been hit by a car, and so, you know, we need to go to King Street and see. And then I got off the phone with him. I was just getting my shoes on so I could go out and see that Nova was okay as well. And as I was doing that, Erica calls me on my phone, and she's bawling, and I hear Aurora screaming, like wailing in the background. And Erica says, Mom, she's dead. And then just crying. And I'm like, first of all, I didn't even know Erica went out with Aurora to go check on Nova, because Erica's very sensitive. She's a 14-year-old. And, you know, that's not something I would have wanted her to see, even if it was a broken leg. And let alone, like, I didn't even think of the fact that, I mean, I know that animals getting hit by cars can cause death, but on King Street, it's only a speed limit of 30 miles an hour. And I don't know, I just thought that maybe it was just a mild hit by a car. So I ran down the road and I asked them exactly where they were on King Street. I phoned Steve because he was getting his car and he was going, and I told him exactly where it was, and we got there. The lady who hit Nova was bawling and crying. This is a weird thing. So the lady, her name is Melanie, who hit Nova. She said that she just had her grandkids in the car too, but she had dropped them off, so luckily they weren't in there to see that. She was coming down the road and this black dog just went bolting in front of her. Now, if you know Nova runs like a bullet. Like, Nova runs so fast. And the way that what we're thinking, there's this cut through with the houses, so it's kind of like an alleyway, and we think that she just bolted out the alleyway right in front of the car, down, like, across the road, and like, so she would have had lots of speed and the car would have had no chance of doing anything. And she's black, pretty much all black. Well, you can see like a little bit of brown, but at night, it was already dark. The other thing is, Nova usually has her collar on, and she has an Apple tag, like in case she gets lost. To have a, like, you can Tom can use his phone to find her on the Apple tag. But he had taken her collar off that morning. I don't know why, and then she ended up chewing it up and chewing up the Apple tag. So she didn't have a collar on. She's got out. She's got hit by a car. She's a black dog. Would have had no chance. I'm trying to tell this lady, like, I know that Nova is an escape artist and that she, you know, runs fast, and, you know, and trying to comfort this lady. Well, just, and then, okay, so two things. One, Tom was out of town for his older brother's baby reveal party, and it was about a 4-hour drive from here. So he's out of town, and I was technically the one watching Nova, but the whole family, like, it's a family effort. And then, so Tom's out of town, and he can't get there right away, even if we tell him what happened. But the lady hits Nova. She gets out of her car, she flags down the first car that goes by, which is this guy, Jamie, and his mom. They were on their way somewhere. So his mom still goes where she's going, and Jamie stays with this lady, Melanie. And Melanie says something about the black dog getting hit and an Alsatian. Well, when she said the word Alsatian, which is the proper name for a German Shepherd, Jamie thinks, oh, I know a girl named Aurora who has an Alsatian. So so Jamie texts Aurora and says, you know, there's a black dog that got hit by a car and there was an Alsatian out as well, blah, blah, blah. And that's when Aurora realized, you know, it might be Nova, and came downstairs and checked the door, and we put it all together. There's just so many things that went into it. One, she's never opened the front door again before. Two, she opened it, she got out, so did Lena. So Lena either followed her to make sure she was okay, or to try and get her back, or because the door is open and it's just an escape. Had Lena not been there, the woman wouldn't have seen an Alsatian, she wouldn't have said that word, Jamie wouldn't have known, like, it wouldn't, you know, to text Aurora, and especially with Nova not having her collar on or anything else. And then, yeah, so we were in quite a situation on, you know, how to let Tom know, and the family's devastated. And so, yeah, Steve did call Tom, and Tom was a couple hours away from home, and we believe that it was very quick, and it wasn't very messy, so we think she must have hit her head. After she got hit by the car, she might have hit her head. And she's a few weeks off of being 1 year old. So her birthday, I think it was December 6th. Like, it was coming up, her birthday, just in December, that she would have been 1 year old. So it, like I said, this happened just after 7, and my live would have been at 8. So now I hope you guys understand why I had to cancel my live last week. And yeah, so this is a little statue that Thomas found at work, actually, because, like, at Steve's work, like, they get bags of clothes and everything in that they, you know, that's what he does. He recycles textiles, like clothing and such. And sometimes they get random things in the bags with the clothes. And so this little guy was at work, and it's got a cut tail, though, like a Dalmatian like when they do their ears and tail. This one doesn't have its ears done, but it has its tail done. Nova's tail wasn't done, but it still is a cute statue. And I noticed that Tom, I had this picture up from when Nova was a baby, like a little puppy. And of course it wasn't my favorite picture, but so Tom wanted me to print off and replace it with this picture. And I had actually just printed this off as a 4x6 and had it there, and I was going to replace it, but then I gave him that one because what happened with Nova. But then I printed it off as a 5x7 for myself, but for the living room. But the weird thing is, I looked over one day and in the last week, and I noticed that this dog was facing the same way as this one in the picture, so I like them together as well. But this will be the one that sits out in our living room. So we were blessed to have Nova for these last few months. She was a wonderful girl. She was very special. She was part of the family, even though she was Tom's dog. And it's devastating that we lost her, but I'm glad that we had her for the time that we did, because she was an escape master. She was very smart, and sometimes she drove me crazy because she was a puppy, you know, chewing things up or digging holes in the garden. But she was a good girl, and she was brilliant, and she was soft and loving, and all of us loved her. And so, yeah, this is my ode to Nova, and she touched all of our hearts. And even though she was here for less than a year, even though you think you're going to have your dog for, like, you know, at least about 10 years, I'm glad to have had her in our family, even though we had to say goodbye too soon. So that is why I had canceled my live last week, and I'm sure you guys understand. But we are back this week, and, you know, I mean, the sadness is still there, but each day it gets a little bit lighter. And like I said, it's difficult to know that she's just gone like that, but we were blessed to have her in the first place, so. All right, so the other thing that I did, and there's a basket back here, is that I started cutting those, like, words in case I fail to think of something to talk about. We had the electricians here this week. They, like, I don't know if you can tell because I have my ring light out anyways, but they've connected the lights in the living room and dining room, so we have bright light in here for me to clean and put up the Christmas decorations, etc. And the bathroom upstairs, they did the lights in there, so every time they come out, even if it is every 6 months, we have another day moving forward with getting things done here. Me and Steve have been shopping this weekend looking for one of my, like, a little cheap dresser that I have is broken, and so we wanted to replace it. So we went to IKEA to get the same dresser he has, and I'd get one and they'd go beside each other and they'd match. However, they stopped making it in that color because that dresser is probably 15 years old at least, still in good condition because Steve takes care of his stuff, but they don't make the same color, so we didn't want mismatched stuff. So then we didn't know what to do. So then, because we're gonna make the garage into our bedroom and have like a nice bedroom suite or whatever, we didn't know if we wanted to go out and find like the drawers and stuff that we eventually want to have, because when we have the bedroom, the garage as our bedroom, it will have a walk-in closet, so then we won't need as much drawer space as we have right now. So do we make do with what we have? Do we buy the stuff that we eventually want or whatever? So we went to IKEA yesterday, and that's when we found out that they didn't have the color, and we went to a few places today to look at different furniture and stuff, but we haven't made up our mind, so that's what we've been doing this weekend. And also this past week, Erica went to get her molds made and stuff for her teeth, so she's going to be getting braces, which she's not happy about. But the thing is, when you're under 18 here, they're covered by the NHS, like National Health Service, so it's better to get your braces if you need any before you're 18. Otherwise, you have to pay for them yourself. So that is what's happened this last week. I can't remember what happened the week before, if anything particular or special happened that I was going to tell you about. I haven't had a hot chocolate in a long time, but I added milk to that, so it's easy to drink. It's not too hot. What else is new? So coming up this week, I have not all the kids, like the girls and me. So there's eye appointments coming up, just getting our eyes checked. I know my prescription's changed, so I only have glasses for reading, but I know the prescription's changed. And oh, dentist appointments, yes. So I better check my. Oh well, they all are in the beginning of December, so they're not this week. But Mom says I'm sitting on my bike pedaling while you were yakking. Oh yeah, sometimes I do that. Well, when I go on my treadmill, Mom, I had this arm thing that I clipped on and it held my phone. So sometimes I'll put my phone there, but it fell off and now I have it upstairs beside my bed because when I hurt my back a couple of weeks ago, then I was lying in bed and I wanted it to hold my phone so I could read my book on my phone and just swipe and not have to hold my phone up while I was resting my back. My back is not 100% great, but it is better than it was a couple weeks ago. I just have to take it easy and be careful when I'm bending and stuff, but I definitely need to get back to my yoga because I can tell that I'm not stretching as much as I was. I mean, it just... hi Karen, thank you. I am well and things are good here, so thank you. For my memory and for when I add this to YouTube, that's Karen Hooker Blackstock because obviously I know more than one Karen and stuff, and I know that when I add these to YouTube, they're not going to have all the comments in the bottom, so that's why I like saying what the comments are and etc. Yeah, so just been, getting ready for the greenhouse. So my date has come of the greenhouse. It's actually the 21st, which is tomorrow, the delivery date. However, that means that the greenhouse is being delivered from the manufacturers to the installation company. So it is in progress, but it's not in progress here. So I've almost taken apart the second greenhouse. I just have to take the glass out of the roof. I was going to say the ceiling. Out of the roof of it, and then I need to move my big metal benches and the frame of the greenhouse, and then the pad will be empty for the new greenhouse, which the guy that Steve talked to, he said he's going to phone again tomorrow and check, but the guy said it should be about a week until they have the time to install, but on the website it says 4 to 8 weeks, so we'll see which one is closer. And as soon as I have an installation date, I'll start doing a countdown to that. So I'm very excited about the new greenhouse. I have all my plants from the greenhouse that have to be, these are ones that most of these stay in the greenhouse all summer as well. They like it in a hot greenhouse. So they're very tender. They like more light than I can give them as a house plant, but they're very tender. So I can't have them outside, just sitting outside of a greenhouse, and if I've taken the greenhouse apart, then so I have them all in here. They're not going to get as much light, like I said, as houseplants. They're not going to get as much light in the living room right now as they would in a greenhouse, but they're getting the warmth and the heat right now, so that's good, but it's taking up room, and with the Christmas decorations, I am hoping the greenhouse is here, hopefully before December 1st, so I can have my living room and looking nice with the decorations. But I do love my plants, but I'd like them more in the greenhouse than in my living room. So yeah, the greenhouse, it's a thing. And then decorating for Christmas and winter. And I made cabbage rolls. So a few weeks ago I made pierogies, which are like potato dumplings. It's like a Eastern European dish, Ukrainian, is like the Ukrainian heritage of where I grew up. It's a lot of Ukrainian cultural influence, and that's where I've learned to make pierogies. And this was my first time making them by myself, and they turned out good, even though I had to use a bit of wholemeal flour because I had run out of white flour. And then I made cabbage rolls, which are cabbage leaves. Sometimes you can use sour cabbage, or you can just use like steamed cabbage so it softens it. And you roll it with, it's got like a beef or pork meat and mixed with rice and bacon or whatever else you want to put in there, mushrooms, and you, but mostly it's meat and rice, and you roll it in the cabbage leaf, and then you put them in a tray, and then you bake them. My mom she puts a thin sliced potato on the bottom of the casserole dish or tin that you're using, and then she puts bacon, slices of bacon on the top for flavor, and the potato on the bottom keeps it from burning. Well, if it does burn, it'll be the potato that burns, not the cabbage rolls. So I made a bunch of those, and they're in the freezer. Erica's here to say goodnight. What?
This live dedicated to someone?
Yeah, I had to explain the Nova thing, so she just saw the pictures of Nova and it made her a little sad. And Betty Boop is not a Disney character, but I'll let her. Hey.
I did not mean to bump it.
Stop being mean to Nova.
I'm not being mean to Nova.
There. Okay. Say hi and bye to everyone.
Hi, bye, everyone.
I told everyone how excited you are for getting braces.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye. Good night. Sleep well.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yes, sir.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Night, Nova.
Yeah. So no. Thomas got Nova cremated, and and when we went to IKEA, that was one of the reasons we went. We bought a big shelf for him in his room, and that it would have enough room and strength for the frame with Nova's picture in, and then the box. And and you can put a picture in that too with Nova's ashes in it. So, and then it's even enough room for another frame. So he wants another picture there too. Hello, Auntie Diane. So, yes. So I made cabbage rolls, and I made some in the freezer, and the kids like them. And I made a big pot of them for Christmas, and I'm gonna give some to my in-laws and stuff. But they're just so good that we keep I keep making like 1 tin a day and then eating them. But oh my goodness, the wind in this house from cabbage, it is, there's a downside to eating so many cabbage rolls, I guess, but they're so good. So yes, but I just love our kitchen. I love the Christmas decorations. I'm so excited for everything. I'm excited for the greenhouse. I'm excited for Christmas, and I will be doing Christmas live. So I should stop talking about Christmas right now because that's not what this is about. The weather here is all right. It's been quite rainy, and that's part of the problem with getting ready for the greenhouses is that it's so wet out there. The lawn is half mud because of the dogs, where the patches are, where the grass is. I just knocked Grumpy down. I can't put grass seed because the dogs would keep walking on it, on those areas, like right outside the patio doors here, and the grass won't have time to grow if it keeps getting stomped on. So it's just mud, and it's rained so much now that there's like puddles on the lawn, and it's hard to work out there in this kind of rain, and I'm so excited for the greenhouse. What else is new? Let's see. I'm just going through the kids in my head. Nope, but I know there's relatives who are making plans to come and visit next summer, so that is very exciting. So that's something else we're doing is we want to make sure that the caravan is even better than it has been in the past and ready for guests and such when they come in the new year to visit. So I can't believe how quickly this year has gone. Do you guys remember when it was just 2020 and everyone got locked down and COVID and everything else, and it felt like it was taking forever? Now it's 2022. I knew it wouldn't last forever, even though COVID's still around and Melody's got it right now. But it's definitely not as bad as it was in the beginning. Think. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting to tell you guys anything. So I've still been working out every day. I was walking, me and Steve are walking the dogs every day. I've still been walking with him every day, even though we don't have Nova. He takes Lena and I just walk with him. Today's Sunday though, so he's out with his mates, so I'm going to do the elliptical when I'm done here. But I definitely do want to start getting my yoga and shred back on schedule. So there's no excuses. As soon as I start, I'll be doing it, but I haven't started yet. I'm just focusing on the Christmas decorations. I really want to get them done and all the bins and boxes and stuff out of the way, so that can be done for December 1st and I can get on with things. Birthdays. Okay, so yeah, I have cousins' birthdays and such going on right now, but also, so Owen's birthday's on the 25th. And then, we have Christmas next month. I mean, everybody has Christmas who celebrates Christmas, and obviously Hanukkah is right on top of Christmas if you celebrate Hanukkah. It starts just before Christmas and it's just after. So, but then in January, it's Allison and Steve's birthdays. So I have to do Christmas shopping. I want to get that done too. I want it to be so I'm going to tell you guys this and bother you guys too, because we need to get on top of this so that nobody's stressed in December. I mean, we'll probably still have things to do on Christmas Eve because it's always like that. But come on, don't let those people bully you about it only being November. Let's get our butts in gear, get things ready for Christmas so that we can have a more enjoyable, calmer December so that we get some of this stuff done now. Make your list of who you need to shop for or buy for or make for or whatever. And some easy gifts. I have this thing I'll post it today. It's like all these ideas for gifts that aren't necessarily like buying things. Because, well, there's two things I'm going to post. Because one is talking about, do people need stuff or do they need, you know, help with their bills being paid or their food or their, you know what I mean? Like even a gift card for the grocery store they shop at, you know, something like that. Like something that helps them actually in life. Because nobody wants stuff if they can't pay their normal, like, utility bills and everything else. So there's different things you can do, but also making things from the heart. Or like I said, even going back to food, if you have a clean kitchen and you know how to cook, you can make meals. You know, one of the cool gifts that I got from my sister-in-law, Tara, and my brother, and their family one year was a movie night. So they gave us a lasagna that she had made in a tin. That would be, you could, freeze, and then it's ready to go in the oven whenever. So a lasagna, a movie, a couple packs of popcorn, like microwave popcorn, and I think maybe some candy or there was something else, but it was like basically a movie night. So like they had bought, like a DVD. That was quite a while ago, so that was when we still bought DVDs. But even if you don't even put the DVD, you just got them a meal ready, like the lasagna and stuff. Like, yeah, so there's things like that you can do for people for Christmas. It doesn't, it doesn't have to be that you have to go out and buy people gifts. I saw a post from was it one of my cousins, somebody on my Facebook, and they have 2 young kids, and they were writing about how it's going to be a tight Christmas and they are only going to be able to get their kids a couple things, and they wish they could give their kids more and blah blah blah. And it's like, first of all, their kids are quite young, right? They're not going to remember totally, it being like a good or bad Christmas. Second of all, what do you mean only a couple things? Like, most kids, if anything, one thing from the parents, one thing from Santa, and then anything else that anybody else gets them. But kids don't need lots of stuff. They want the memories with you, crafts with you, making cookies with you, just the magic of Christmas. It's not about all the stuff. Trust me, I have kids and they have lots of stuff, and it just takes up room, and they don't care about, no offense, Owen, because that's who bought this for Allison. I'm just saying, you can have too much stuff, and this is coming from a hoarder. So yeah, you can only care about so many things, but you don't care about the stuff as much as you care about the people. Even though this is a great gift, Allison would rather have time with Owen than stuff from Owen. Do you know what I mean? Because he's a great guy and he makes us laugh, and yeah. So just don't stress yourself out about money for Christmas. It's not about that. It's about, even making phone calls or whatever, homemade cards. Just figure it out. So I'm going to post these 2 things. I'll post them in the comments, and then I'll post them on my regular Instagram and Facebook, and it'll give you some ideas for Christmas gifts that are better than just your average whatever. But you can make a list of who you want to give something to, and then that will give you ideas of what to give them, or get them, or make them, or yada yada. And sometimes even going in with people. Like in the past, me and my siblings have gone in for a gift for my mom instead of us all getting something. That way we pitch in and get her something that's actually useful, or something that is a little bit more expensive than something we would buy on our own. But again, we're not filling her house full of stuff that she doesn't want. We're getting her something that's makes more sense practically. I'm a practical gift giver. And one of my favorite gifts to give people are towels. So for birthdays, when the kids have friends' birthdays, I'll put together a package. I usually do like a keepsake, and so something small that's like a keepsake. So if it's a friend's birthday, then it might be a little plaque that says something about friends or something, or like a bookmark that says friends, something that they can keep. I usually put something that they can eat and something that's useful. So I usually put like a towel, and then I might use a basket, like a basket, or the plastic ones, like containers, to get organized and stuff, and then put the gifts in there, so that that's a useful thing too. But I love giving a towel. Everybody loves towels, and even more so if I know what color, you know, people have. But people love having their own towels, especially because then you know who uses it. So that's one of my gifts, my go-to gifts for people. And what else? Like I said, for me, food is a good gift because I know how to bake and cook, and most people like to eat. So again, if you know what their likes and dislikes are, I want to make Samantha some cabbage rolls, but I'm gonna make them without the bacon or the meat in it because she is a vegetarian. So yes, let me see. Yeah, so they won't be exactly the same as our cabbage rolls, but there's no reason, like with rice and maybe some spices, even just pepper, that it can't be still yummy, you know, but I'll figure it out. So I can still do the potato on the bottom. I can do the rice. I can figure out what, mushrooms. I can put mushrooms in, and cabbage, obviously. So I have a headache right now too. So wherever we've gone today, lots of the shops that we went in yesterday and today have been quite chilly in them, and it's a bit chilly outside. So my, you know, whether it's Raynaud syndrome or whatever with my hands and nose getting cold, my nose gets so cold that it gets snotty, and I like, so because I've been cold for most of the day until we got home, I have this, like, it feels like a sinus headache, and yeah, I'm not cold right now, but my nose is still a bit runny, and then I feel like I have a sinus headache. So I'm just sitting here with a headache, but I'll pretend that everything's great even though my head's bursting. But yeah, so let's see, what else can we ramble about? Yes, I have the basket if I need to take something out, but let me just check. Yep, we have lots of time to ramble. Let me have some more of my hot chocolate, my cold chocolate. Such a weird cup on top. Oh, things. I have like about 5 Christmas trees at least. Oh yeah, I'm not supposed to be talking about Christmas, but I'm wondering if I should put all of them up or just one. We'll see. So it is November 20th. That means November is almost over, 2/3 over. So yeah, I don't know what else to. So to me, the beginning of December, even though it's not technically winter, well, it depends how you go, but I'm gonna say that's winter. There's also like a picture I want to post. Like I want to show like what it is like outside here and then outside on the prairies at the same time, and then it'll make sense to why so many people where I'm from feel like, you know, putting up their Christmas decorations right after Remembrance Day or Halloween, because once the snow comes, it feels like winter, it feels like Christmas. It makes sense. Here, it feels like autumn, but not even like full autumn, because some of the trees have lost their leaves, some of them still haven't. So it definitely doesn't feel like winter. So it's hard for people here to be like in the Christmas spirit as much as you would be if there was snow. But we definitely, a lot of people, with the snow, that makes it help to be Christmassy, but it definitely helps you to get on top of things. But we do, in Canada, and America, I guess, we do so much for Christmas. We do baking, like way more baking than anybody needs to do, because then everybody does baking, and then there's like baking out on the tables all like Christmas season, and then you're just getting fat. And, yeah, so, what else? And then, yeah, just getting ready. So, like, even cabbage rolls and things like that, like, people are making them now and then freezing them so that they're ready to go in the oven for Christmas dinner. We have our roast beef. We have a big roast beef, and we have a big pork roast that we can use for dinner, but we don't have any turkeys. And I guess we're having an egg shortage here right now, which is a bit frustrating, but I guess Steve explained it to me because he saw it on TV. The grocery stores have raised their prices of eggs, but they haven't given the farmers any extra money from the sales. So farmers are like, well, that's not cool. So now farmers are like, basically their eggs are on strike. So they're not giving away their eggs. So it's not that we have a shortage of eggs. It's that the farmers aren't giving their eggs away until they get a better price for them. And now I just read a thing that says about, because here they have standards in the UK with the eggs, like you won't get salmonella from eggs here, so you can eat raw eggs, you can eat, you know, raw egg yolk, whatever, because they are all tested, like very strict, as opposed to America, Canada, and other places. But now I read a thing that says to be careful with yolky eggs or anything because of imported eggs. So instead of just paying the farmers more, they're willing to just get below standard eggs from elsewhere. So I'm not saying the eggs are bad. I'm just saying they're not as inspected as they are here and everything else. Like, just pay the farmers more. So I want Steve to see if there's a place that we can go where we can buy eggs directly from the farmers, because I'd rather give the money to the farmers and support their businesses and, you know, get the eggs local than do, like, this is crap from the grocery stores. Like, you don't raise the price of the product and then not give more to the people who are not producing, that's not the word I'm looking for, the hens are producing, but the supplying that product, right? So not manufacturers, not manufacturing, suppliers, I guess. There is another word I'm trying to think, but it's just not coming to my brain. So yeah, I've talked about the weather. I've talked about everything in between. There's a lot of TV that me and Steve have been watching. There's a show here called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And it's like about 11 or 12 celebrities who go into, yeah, it's about 12 celebrities every year. They go into this like camping area in the jungle in Australia, and they have to live there for 3 weeks. And they get rice and beans to eat, and then they do these competitions to try and win stars, and then every star they win is like, helps get more food for the, so 1 star equals technically 1 meal, and then they have to divide all that. Distributors, yeah, that's a good word, Melody. And so if there's, say there's, like right now there's 11 of them in the jungle, because one woman had to leave because of a blood test or something, I don't know. But there's 11 of them, so if they get all 11 stars, then they get lots of meat, and they still have to cook it and then portion it for everybody. But if they only get 5 stars, then they get, like, you know, half the meat that they would get if they had 11 stars or whatever. But they still will cook it, and then everybody will still get their normal portion of rice and beans, but they'll get whatever the meat is. Except, you know, Boy George from Culture Club, he's on this season, and he is a vegan, so he gets mushrooms instead of the meat. So basically why it's called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here is because when they do the challenges, which can be really gross, like with lots of stuff falling on you and grime and everything else, or they can have like different insects like cockroaches and mealworms, and or they have like different ones of snakes, and so you might be in a box locked in there, and they have a bunch of snakes going around you while you're trying to, you know, untwist these stars or whatever. There's all these challenges and stuff like that. So you compete for stars, but you at any time you can say I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, and they'll take you out of the challenge if you just can't handle it. It is a really cool show. It's been going on for years, even before I got here, and that is something that is on every night these 3 weeks. So, you know, so that you can vote live for who you want to keep in the jungle. And yeah, so the one that most people would know, like, yeah, I don't think anybody else on there is, cause like it's different celebrities. So some of them are TV hosts, some of them are athletes, and you know, there's all range of different, you know, some of them are on soap operas, but the only one that people like from Canada would know is Boy George, really, I think. So, but it's still, even if it was just regular people that you didn't know before, which I usually don't know most of them because I'm, you know, not originally from here. Even if it's just strange, like normal people, it's still cool to see the dynamics of it and the social aspect of it, and that they have to do their own chores and shower in this little waterfall or this little pond thing. They have to wash their clothes there. They have to, it's called a dunny, which is like an outhouse, and then it has like a barrel underneath the hole, and you, every day they take the old barrel out from under the back and they put a lid on the barrel, and then they take that to wherever it goes, and then you take a fresh barrel, and then they go and take the lid off and shove it back in the dunny, and that's one of the chores that they have to do. So they have to take care of themselves, and it's really interesting to see, especially when you know some of these people don't even need to be there, because they do get paid to be there, but you know that some of them have enough money that they don't need to be there, that they might just be there for the experience. Because yeah, like there's lots of us who, there's eating challenges too, where you have to eat like all these weird animals and stuff. But if you're vegan, like Boy George, he had to eat like that. I've told you guys about this before in previous years probably, but there's a thing called vomit fruit. So it's a fruit, so it's good for vegans and vegetarians, but it literally tastes like vomit. Blech. So yeah, and then a lot of fermented stuff that he had to have, like fermented tofu, fermented duck eggs, like no, I would have rather had the like whatever it is, cow's anus and sheep vagina and I think it might have been a kangaroo penis. You don't have to eat the whole penis, you just have like the little end. They just give you a little bit and a little piece of the vagina. And a fish eyeball, like different things like that. So it's just seeing how, you know, your fear factor, right? Like challenging yourself to different experiences. So, oh, there's a politician on this year too. His name is Matt Hancock, and he's an MP, but he used to be the health minister for Britain when we were going through COVID. So there's a lot of controversy with him being on there. He seems to come across as a really nice guy, and he's doing the challenges. He just goes and does them, and he gets on with it. Like, he seems to be the only it's funny how people judge him just because he's a politician and because of what party he is for, and what both in the public and even in there, people were like, the only thing I judge him on is the fact that I don't know if I agree with the fact that he's a working MP right now, and you don't get holidays. They do get holidays, I think, at Christmas, and they take some weeks off in the summertime, but technically he should be working, and he should be there for his constituents. So I don't think I agree with him taking time off in the middle of the year like this to go on a reality show. However, besides that, I don't judge him as a politician for being for one party or the other, for being on a show like this. And like I said, he's coming across as a nice guy, and even if I was there or whatever, I mean, I'm not going to judge him, like I said, on what party he's from or what mistakes he's made. Because the other thing is there's controversy because he got caught during lockdown, like during the COVID restrictions and stuff. He, I don't know if he had a wife or the girl had a husband, but he got caught on film, like kissing I don't know, somebody he worked with in a corridor or something where there was a security camera, and grabbing her butt and kissing her. And so there was like this huge controversy about the fact that they shouldn't have been, they're not in the same household, so they shouldn't have been, you know, fraternizing necessarily during the lockdown restrictions. And yeah, but it's hard to say that too, because if they worked together, then I think technically she might have been in his bubble and they were seeing they'd see each other for work anyways. But I don't know. Anyways, besides that, he seems to be a nice guy. He just gets on with it. And yeah, but there's controversy outside of the I'm a Celebrity show, and they don't know anything about what's going on in the outside world. So Boy George is not coming across very well. He's coming across a little bit whiny and lazy and just, yeah. So, but they don't know what the critics are saying, what if people love them or hate them on the outside, until the voting starts happening, where they get, you know, where they tell you who the bottom two are, and then one of those people go home. And so they've started that. Only one person's gone home so far, and she is. There's a show in America called The View, and it's like 4 women, including like Whoopi Goldberg and Barbara. Oh, what's her name again? Barbara Walters and stuff. It's The View, so it's like 4 or 5 women panel show where they talk about whatever issues they want to talk about. There's one here, the same thing basically, and it's called Loose Women. And the woman, her name is Charlene, that was on I'm a Celeb. She is on that show, Loose Women, and she does some other types of things like that, but she was the first to get voted out. So anyways, it's on every day so that it's live and you can vote for who you want to keep and who you want to do challenges and everything else. And so it's an hour long every night. So me and Steve watch that every night. And then we have our other shows like John Oliver on Mondays, I think. We have Taskmaster on Thursdays. And we have Gogglebox on Fridays. And I think I've explained all those shows to you before. Taskmaster is 5 comedians who go on and then they do all these tasks. And they compete against each other to do these tasks to become the taskmaster. They don't become the taskmaster. The taskmaster is the one who gives them the challenges. But it's really good fun. Very funny. many seasons of that, and they have an Australian version of it too. And then Gogglebox on Fridays is basically a TV show where we watch normal people watching the TV shows from that week, just like bits and pieces, and then we get their opinions on it. So if, like, say they're watching I'm a Celeb and they see Boy George eating his vomit fruit, and they're sitting there like I'm sitting here, and then the TV's over there, and they're like, oh my god, look at him, and they say really funny things. And yeah, that's what Gogglebox is. It's us watching people watching TV. But it is funny, and it is better than it sounds. And I don't know if they've made an American or Canadian version of Gogglebox yet, but I really do like it. The other thing with Gogglebox, though, is they do get paid a small amount, but there's a contract where, because they want them just to be regular people, that even though they've become popular because of being on the show, you can't do anything else while you're doing that. So if you want to appear in magazines and get paid for it, or be on a different show or game shows or whatever, then you can't be on Gogglebox anymore. So yeah, but yeah, it's very cool. I would definitely want to be on Gogglebox. But you know those things that when you're watching TV with your partner or your sister or your mom or whoever, and you guys are watching TV and you just like, you say your true opinion about the things you're watching? Yeah, so I think that it would be fun to be on it, but at the same time, some of the things you'd have to, like, you know, watch what you say with other people watching. So, yeah, and then there's like lots of other TV shows like The Good Doctor and some crime shows that we watch and stuff that we need to catch up on as well. Oh, and Resident Alien. We haven't caught up on the last season of that. Oh, my back is sore. So, yeah. Yeah, there's lots of TV that we watch. But with me doing like greenhouse stuff and then Christmas stuff and everything else, and then we walk the dogs at like 10 o'clock, and we don't get to bed till like 11, and then I'd like to be asleep by midnight, so we, you know, we're not getting as much TV as we need to get in to get through all these shows, but eventually we will get through them. If it's up to me, I wouldn't watch as much TV, I would just go to sleep. I like sleep, I could sleep for hours. Yeah, so we have 8.5 minutes left to ramble. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about or want to listen to me talk about. Next week is the 27th. I think Steve said, what did he say about, because sometimes he'll just listen to parts of the Rambling Hour, and, but he said something about, my voice, and I think, not basically, without using the term Valley Girl, he used it with a bit of, like, that I'm too Valley Girl, so, like, oh, like, whatever, like, it's the way that I talk that it's a bit, well, so, so what I was saying is today's the 20th, so next Sunday is the 27th of November. There's nothing special about that. It'll be 2 days after Owen's birthday. I need to check with Owen what he wants for his birthday dinner, and if him and Bobby, his other half, are coming over, or what the plans are for his birthday. Also, so yeah, November 27th, I can't think of anything specific that's happening, so I don't know if I'll have a theme, but maybe I'll have a guest, is what I'm trying to say. Is maybe I will try and have a guest next Sunday. I don't know who, I don't know what, I don't know what we'll talk about, but it should be good. I think lots of these are good. Yeah, I have a head, and it is like hard for me to concentrate. There's a bright light shining in my face. I have a headache. But I see that I showered, I did my hair, and oh, so the electricians, like I said, they put like lights in the upstairs bathroom finally. I mean, not that we didn't have light before, but they put the spotlights in that we wanted, and there's one right above the like shower and everything, so it doesn't matter because I'm wearing jeans and it's like not winter time, but you know, I'm not wearing shorts outside. But I brought my razor in there and shaved my legs because I wanted to see how good the light was to get all my, like, to make sure I could see all my hair. So that was exciting. So I had a shower and shaved my legs, and I did my hair just for you guys. And yeah, because this is how I was supposed to look last weekend, and I did until everything went down. So yeah, I did my theme from last weekend for this weekend. So I have no idea what next weekend holds, what we will see. Like I said, technically I would call it still autumn, so I'm not going to do the Christmas or winter themes yet. but maybe I will have a guest. Maybe I will be from the kitchen. I don't know. There's a lot to fit into my Christmas episodes. So, you know, Christmas from the kitchen, Christmas crafts, Christmas reading, Christmas everything. And, yeah. Yeah, that's all. I just love my kitchen. It inspires me to want to cook and be in there and make things and stuff. But I also love outside, and it'll be even better when I have my greenhouse. I want to be out there. And then with all the Christmas decorations, I just want to be in every room. And now that the living room and dining room have like lights in the ceiling and I can turn them on, it can be really super bright. So awesome, because I like bright light. And yeah. What else to tell you? Nothing, besides the electricians coming, nothing renovation-wise at the moment. Waiting on different things. Steve needs to find a builder to do our blueprints for the extension. Lena's tired of listening to me. Yeah? What? Yeah? Is Mom rambling too much? I know. Yeah? You good girl? Yeah, grumble, grumble. Big grumbly grumble. Okay. She grumbles more these days. This old lady that I know named Lena. 10-year-old German Shepherd. Okay, so I just keep looking around at the Christmas decorations, and I want to continue and make them really pretty and make everything so lovely and clean. And yeah, that's what I'm working on. And then Christmas shopping, like I said, I need to get on with the shopping and get things done so that I can chill more in December and just enjoy the mood and the season and yata yata. I'd like to get together with my friend Samantha maybe this week if we have time. It's just been busy and we haven't had time, and you know. So let me know if you have any ideas for me, or if you want to be my guest, or anything else. Yeah. I mean, with Lena talking this much, I could have her as my guest. Okay. All right. I will see you guys next week. Same time, same place. I love you guys. Have a good week, and ciao. All right. Let me just press the button. All right. I guess I'm like a few minutes away, but I'll show you noisy Lena. Hey, Lena. Oh, you're quiet now? What? Yeah? What? That's not even a grumble. That's better. And then my plants all in the living room, all the way up to the ceiling, just hanging out. And back to me. And yes, I love you guys. I will see you next week. All right, have a good week and take care. Bye. Love you too.